Today is all about installing the Factory 533 hot rod rear exhaust. Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notifications below. So, as you saw about 2 videos ago on the Firewall engine mock-up, that I installed the headers, which you can see right there, and also the downpipes. And so now we're going to go ahead and keep flowing with the exhaust, and installing the rest of it. The first thing I need to do is take all the panels out of the car, and then once I do that, it'll give me a little bit of breather room so I can see what's going on, get my hands around different places. And so let's dig into it. Alright, so it's another day and I'm still working on the exhaust, and Factory 5 didn't actually supply the actual bolts to bolt the exhaust system up to the frame. They carried all the hangers, if you will, that will go there, but they didn't give you the actual bolts to put into the system. So I needed to figure out how I was going to do that, and what I ended up doing is I'm going to use riv nuts into the frame, so that way you can screw these hangers into the frame itself. So it's going to be a little bit more of a meticulous multi-step process because the 33 Hot Rod version 2 has a bottom aluminum panel on it, and where this hanger goes is also on top of that aluminum panel. So I have to actually install the aluminum panel, then do a pilot hole through the panel and the frame of where this riv nut's going to go, pull the panel off, then drill a full-size hole to get the riv nut in, but then drill a smaller hole for just the bolt to go through the panel. And so it's a little bit more work than normally just drilling a hole and slamming everything in there. But we're going to go ahead and do that and get the mufflers installed, and then we're going to go ahead and get the rear tailpipes hopefully fitted and also installed. Of course, this is all mock-up, and then it's going to have to be pulled back off. But I'm going to go ahead and get that all done today, hopefully, and let's see how it goes. Finally got the Ford transmission mount that needs to adapt over to my 4L60E transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and put that together now that I have the mufflers in place and I have some free space to get under there and do this. Alright, so we have exhaust system installed. It's not perfectly tweaked yet, but it's just mocked up. Like that muffler could be flattened out and stuff like that. But we got everything going, and we're doing the rear exhaust, so this comes around. Goes here, goes over the axle and then comes out. And then of course there's some tips, little tips that go on here, but those tips need to be aligned to the body, so I'm gonna have to do a dry fit on the body real soon. Get this figured out so I could actually finalize where I'm gonna attach these things, height-wise, width-wise, all that, and then pull it all apart. However, so I got the new trans mount in, and as I raise this transmission, because it's been down 2 or 3 inches, we're starting to get back into our fitment issue where the trans is hitting the frame. And I'm right now about, I don't know, we'll say an inch or 3/4 of an inch higher than I was before. But I'm still about a good inch away to go to get my trans plate that actually attaches to this in. And I honestly don't know what the height of this is supposed to be, so it might be in the manual. I'll have to verify. But what that did is when I started raising the transmission, that tilted the engine. As it tilted the engine, the headers tilted the exhaust pipe, and this started hitting the frame. So I had to actually disconnect the header, and as you could see, there's some play here. I could bring this up, of course, but I might have to do a double spacer. I had one spacer in there, which you can see right there. I might have to do a double spacer to get this to work right without, because I still need to go an inch up. So we'll have to see to get this to work, but it was a slow process. The other thing I'll say is do not try to do this on your own. Get a second helper with you, because trying to thread a bolt while holding a muffler in the air and these things, as you're pinching this side, the other side opens up. So it's almost impossible to try to do by yourself. So this literally is like, I'm 6 hours in today, and this could have probably snapped together in maybe hour and a half if I had 2 people. So, just screwing around, wasting time, being lonely. You know how it is. So anyways, another thing is someone commented that my shocks are mounted in the wrong space. Now here's the funny thing. I did a few videos on this. And this is where they told me to put them. And now it's like, oh no, they should be back here. And so I, called up Factory 5 and said, hey, these aren't in the right spot. You told me this is where they go. Oh, I must have misunderstood. These need to go back here. Well, I don't have the shims for that. Okay, we're sending the shims out. So I got to move these back over here and reshim them. So we will do that as soon as we can.